David, your thoughts on today's 0-0 draw here at Windsor Park?
Probably frustration. I thought we'd done enough to get a goal, to take the lead and possibly to win the game. We had decent chances. We probably should have done a little bit better. Overall, performance-wise, I thought it was more than acceptable. On a tough playing arena, let's be honest, the pitches, and I don't want to sound as if I'm a broken record or excuses and whatever else, but the pitch is causing ourselves and the opposition teams even numerous problems. But all in all, we played Coleraine earlier in the season where it was a job affair when it was 0-0. I thought the game was better today. I thought it was better spectacle. And all in all, considering so soon after the game, I thought we should have won the game.
0-0, we had our chances. Ball just wouldn't drop for us. Yeah. But you know, Coleraine haven't conceded a goal in the league since the 8th of November, so it was always going to be tough to break them down there today. Yeah,
and that's why it was important that we did get the first goal, because you know we're in decent form defensively ourselves. But we huffed and puffed a little bit. There was a couple of balls coming in where we should have done a little bit better, a couple of chances hitting it at the goalkeeper. Coleraine didn't really create that much, but the danger was then that, especially late in the game where we were trying to push forward, in anticipation to get the goal and try and win the game, which is a credit to the players, that we weren't caught on the break. And again, the players were connected enough, close enough when we were breaking to sort of snuff them out when the counter-attack was on. So you got to give Oran and Coleraine credit for the way they come and manage the game today. We just didn't get the right pass at the right time and the right finish at the right time today.
Jimmy Gallagher didn't make it, but Michael Newbury stood in and got the Man of the Match award. It's great to see players who can step in, whether it's Nell Quinn's back in the bench, Newbury comes in, yeah. Ben Hull, Jordan Stewart are knocking on the door in the Swifts. It's important to get these boys back now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's important. Again, when we lose one, and we've never been, I don't know, there's a bit of frustration at times with the fans when we don't disclose too many about injuries and when they're going to be back and when they're going to return, and that's not to be sort of snide to our own supporters. That's to be cautious in terms of when we expect players to return. We went through a period in basically October, November time and start of December where we were filling the bench with some of the younger players. That's not to say whether they're ready or not. Jimmy missed the game today. Noob stepped in, had a good game as to be expected. He's a good player. He's found himself sort of behind Jimmy and Sam for obvious reasons, because we've been winning games and we've been doing pretty well and keeping clean sheets. So pleased for Noobs today. I thought Sam was excellent again today. Alongside him, our back four's been pretty solid since we lost quite a few goals at home here earlier in the season. So there's positives of that. The negative is obviously Jimmy, and obviously we will disclose something. You know, Jimmy's going to be out for the foreseeable future. How long, I don't know. It's disappointing to lose a player of that calibre and the stature, and somebody who's been over the course and distance numerous times with me as manager and the players and in the round the dressing room. So that's a disappointing one. We'll assess that going forward. We will basically announce something to say that Jimmy's going to miss the foreseeable future.
We take a break from league action, but it's a almighty competition on Saturday that starts, the Irish Cup, Blue Ribbon Cup. First round, home to Warren Point. They were a Premiership team last year. They've come here and drawn in recent years, so you'll not be taking that with any complacency.
Absolutely not. Again, I've known Barry. I got on well with Barry, and my respect for Barry and his club has always been there. So we've done our due diligence. We've had Warren Point watched, and we'll expect a tough game. That I would imagine leading into the game that Barry will say it's a free one for him, because the important thing is, and I spoke to him when the draw was made, and he says the Irish Cup, and the important thing is for them is promotion, to try and get promoted back out of the Championship this year. But on paper they have a lot of Premiership players playing in that division. They will come with basically no pressure, and they'll come and try and put us under pressure next week, and we expect a tough game.
And I know it's one game at a time, but after over a week since the last game, we have 8 games in the month of January, so it's going to take its toll on the depth of your squad through this month. That 8 games, I think 2 of them are at Seaview, one's at Solitude. It's a big schedule for this month ahead, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And again, it's important that we have the players that you talked about coming back into contention. who haven't really played that many minutes this year in the league. So it's important for them first and foremost to make sure that they're in the correct physical condition, where one or two isn't at the minute. That's why they're not involved in the team or in the rounded squad at the minute. Mentally and physically, we want players coming back from injury, chomping at the bit to get into the get in firstly to get into the squad and then into the team. And some of the players have been a little bit slow to get back, which has been disappointing. But getting into the new year now, it's important that everybody's fit, healthy, available. There's one or two that we talked about. Obviously, Fallon's going to miss the majority of the rest of the season. Gallagher's obviously going to miss the foreseeable future. So it's important that we have John Stewart and Al Quinn, Kirk Miller when he's going to return, Ben Hall, people like that back in and around, competing for places in the team.
And with the transfer window open, it might be nice if there was a few fresh faces to come in and add to the competition, wouldn't it?
Yeah, possibly. Again, something that we always look at. We don't just, again, believe it or not, we don't just wake up on January the 1st and sort of try and sort of come up with fresh ideas. A lot of the work's been done. Whether we're allowed to, or whether we have the capabilities of bringing players in, I hope so. We may, but it's not going to be. Last year we probably brought one or two too many in. We're clogged up a little bit, and some of the players who came in last year probably didn't get the minutes that they expected and wanted. So when we do bring players in, if it's one or two this year, they'll come in with the ambitions that they want to play, and they should be good enough to play.
Happy New Year, David.
Happy New Year.